Greetings. Thank you everyone for joining us today. My name is Kienata, and we are going to be exploring Spelljammer. I'll be playing Fitzroy Brumblebottom, a human ranger. With us, we have Benjamin Scott of Puffin Forest. You can find Ben here on YouTube by searching Puffin Forest. He is playing Nub Nub, the Bopey Druid. Megan R. Miller, fiction author of The Chronicles of Drasul, 404 Killer Not Found, and more, available on Amazon. She is also a contributor on Nerdarchy.com. She is playing Sirkas, the Arachnoid Void Warlock. Nate the Nerdarch of Nerdarchy, for Nerds by Nerds. He has been a creator and partner over on Nerdarchy for 4 years now, and mostly works on adventure and homebrew products, the storefront of Nerdarchy.com, Patreon rewards, and travels to conventions. He is playing Five-Hand Stan, the Manted Arcane Trickster. We also have Doug Vahovic, Nerditor-in-Chief at Nerdarchy.com. Doug will be our guide and games master tonight in the world of Endless Horizons Spelljammer.
Woo.
All right.
Yay. That was really good.
Doug here from Nerdarchy, for Nerds by Nerds, and today we're playing D&D 5th edition Spelljammer game with these nerds. And this odd collection of characters is traveling on their ship to Neros 4 for the Neros Gate Pursuit, a yearly nautical race held right here on Neros 4, commemorating the launch of New Horizons. 50 years ago, humans took their first spelljamming flight from the planet aboard this legendary vessel. And each year, since the landmark moment in human interspherical history, Neros 4 holds a grand regatta, drawing spelljamming ships and spectators from around the vortex, or known space. In the year of our Spelljammer, 1771, the spectacle of the Neros Gate Pursuit is more magnificent than ever before. Visitors from the Lighthouse Sphere to the Home Forge, and emissaries from Toho Space and spheres beyond. Troops of Far City performers, even squads of flow riders fill the shipyards and streets of Nero's Gate. Elven intelligence officials from the Human Travel Mitigation League keep close watch over developments in the spread of human influence. The focus of attention this year is the Dawn Rose, a beautiful spelljamming ship on display in the harbor. The winner of this year's Nero's Gate Pursuit wins the right to christen her as crew on her maiden flight. But that's not why any of you are here. You've got serious work to do. While each of you have personal reasons for flying aboard Illrigger, one thing you all have in common is a role as cast and crew of Ingest Quest, an interspherical travel production aimed at visiting exotic cultures and sampling the unique cuisines encountered along the way. You might have taken the job out of genuine interest or simply as a decent paying gig to get around the verse. As you are coming in to land on Neros 4 aboard Illrigger, it is a sleek, long, spelljamming ship in the shape of a cobra, more or less. It has black lacquered wooden scales along its length and a tail that curves up along the back. The bridge is in the head, where two green glass eyeballs allow the pilot to see out. Why don't actually, you introduced your characters a little bit, but if you want to tell us more about them now, you can have a chance. You're on board the Illrigger. The production company has chartered it for the length of the shoot, and if you'd like to interact with anything on the ship before it comes in for a landing, or each other, here's your chance, or tell us a little bit about your characters.
Yeah, do you guys want to do a roll to see who goes first, who goes last?
Sure, roll off.
I'll roll dice. I'll
All right,
always
D20.
roll dice.
All right, I got 13.
11.
14.
I forgot to grab dice. I'll just go last.
All right. Megan lose by default. She will go last.
Professionals here, people. All professionals.
Yep.
Hey, I'm
We have a
ready.
crack team taking care of everything.
Starting it off, of course, is Nub Nub, the greatest warrior of the Bopey people, who is on board to protect the crew, to fight against injustices across the galaxy as a representative of our great nation. And I'm a furry creature. I'm basically a teddy bear or an Ewok kind of a character. And I have these, I have kind of a fat, large body that's even larger due to all this fur that's sticking off of me. Not very muscular, and these stubbly arms and these waddly little legs. And I have to go when I walk around.
Like he doesn't have knees. No, it just bends at the hip. That's it.
Yeah. So I'm at the front of the helm, like this, looking out across the area, protecting the crew, looking for any danger. And I have this stick, which was gifted to me of the peoples, and it's a really big stick. It's red, and that means it's special. So it's a sacred weapon to us.
Absolutely.
I have it there, and I'm looking out. Danger.
Right. I'm playing a very tall cross between like a mantis and some kind of insectoid. He's a race, this Skaram, and one of the unique features about him is that he tends to carry around his grandfather's arms with him, and by that he means the exoskeleton of the previous generations of his people that he'll work into his different bits and armor and such. And he is currently looking for one of the other companions to kind of escort him around, because he's a little nervous about this many people that he can't really see, because he's telepathic, but he doesn't have a good sense of non-Skaram. And he is kind of adjusting all of his beltalier things of different pouches and pockets he has all over himself that makes up his suits that he wears around most of the time, his armaments, and he's looking around for that, using a mirror with his floating mage hand to kind of scout ahead for himself.
I am playing Fitzroy Jebediah Brumblebottom. I'm a culinary expert. And my goal is to find exotic things in the verse and cook them. Even if they're moving, even if they're trying to get away from me, even if they're trying to bite me, and sometimes even if they're talking back. I would say I'm probably going around the ship, like making sure I have some basic equipment with me before we land, and maybe getting a snack ready for everyone. I definitely want to have like a chunk of bacon fat from the larder. I want to like take a chunk of bacon fat, because you need that to cook everything, right? Everything's better with bacon. And then a good pile of salt. I think I'm gonna have a stiff drink. I'm gonna have a stiff beverage, a strong beverage, hopefully not the grog that is nasty. I'm not drinking that nasty water. A nice cup of some form of alcohol before we go out. Just settle my nerves, calm me down.
Sure.
Oh, and my pokey. Fitzroy carries like a short sword with him, but he doesn't really like to use it to fight because he sharpens it like a kitchen knife and keeps it really nice. So I'm gonna take my pig sticker with me as well.
All right.
My name is Circass. I am an arachnoid, and for those that are not in the know, that means I am closely related to your Earth spiders. Currently, I am perched in a corner of one of the ship corridors, and I slowly descend on a thread of silk, just slowly rotating behind Five Hand Stan.
All right. So on the ships, Nub Nub is on the bridge. You are there with Randall Enzo. He is an ace spelljamming pilot. He spends most of his off-duty time above the decks in open wild space, ever ready to resume his place at the helm. But most of the time he is on the helm. He really pushes himself. He takes a lot of pride in the ship, and he is an expert pilot as he guides you through. There's like tons of ships coming and going. There's a huge interspherical festival here, so he's expertly heading towards the dock. Stan and Fitzroy actually run into each other in what the crew have called the Joint, which is the de facto name of the crew lounge. And Fitzroy, you've been working with Chunder, he's the lizard folk quartermaster and cook of the ship, and he is supplying you with all that you need, bacon and your spices and things like that. And he can certainly provide you with a drink, except as he goes to get the ship's supply of whatever you like to drink, Crex Blasto, the halfling starmancer, is actually sitting at the bar, and he is known to enjoy fine drink, and he pours you a glass from a bottle from his personal stash and slides it over to you as Stan walks in, followed by Circass.
So Circass would have dropped down behind me and startled me.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you didn't catch her in your mirror.
Yeah, I didn't catch her in my mirror, so my mandibles start to move, and I speak into her mind. Sir Cass, you know,
Yes.
I cannot hear you very well.
That's generally the point. We're supposed to move fairly quietly so that things don't see us coming.
Indeed. Let's find the others. I need someone to escort me out of this place.
And I imagine you don't want that person to be me.
You're fine. Just others would be good to watch our backs and each other.
Well, Fitzroy is right over there.
Excellent. And I quickly move towards Fitzroy, clacking my mandibles.
It was Chunder that gave me the nice beverage to drink.
No, he was going to get the regular
Okay.
ship stash. It's Crex Blasto, who is a halfling starmancer. He's like the ship's navigator.
Okay, I guess I'll lean on the counter. Crex, you may be half the man I am, but you are a scholar and a gentleman, sir. Thank you very much. And I'll take a shot. And if I hear skittering legs of the probably delicious insectoid folk
Absolutely.
coming up behind me, hi there, how are we doing today? I assume you're still creeping people out by talking into their minds, and you're all right. So we're about to land. Who's excited? I'm ready. I'm ready to go have some fun in the city proper. We've been out in the verse for far too long.
As my mandibles begin to move, and I begin to speak into his mind, what is creepy about this?
Something about somebody poking around in my head that just makes me uncomfortable.
I am just talking through the window. Yes, the window.
I have a question.
Sure.
When you do the telepathy thing, Stan, can we all hear you or just the person you're projecting at?
It's up to Doug. What do you think, Doug?
I think you could choose to, like he can
Like
have
whisper?
like a group mind to everyone that he
Okay.
chooses.
Unless I say I'm whispering, I am talking, because Stan would have figured out early on that it is creepy to just have a conversation by looking at someone across
Yeah.
the room and no one else hears it. So he out of kindness or consideration or etiquette, whatever those things are to him,
Sure.
he's decided that it's less creepy to say it out loud. So unless I'm saying I'm whispering this to Fitzroy, we'll just say it's like broadcast.
The flesh creatures don't like it. I understand.
Although, Stan, it might be an unusual situation because you're going to a place with so many people that more people than you've probably ever been around at one time.
I may be
you know.
interested in whispering at that point.
Yeah. But we'll say you can whisper to several people, multiple people at once as well
Yes.
in your party.
Okay.
Well, I'd like to just turn to my companions and Sir Cass, Stan, I think we should gather ourselves together and prepare to depart. I prepared a snack for everyone, and I guess maybe like a little tray of meaty
And so
things.
you hear Nub Nub. Somehow he heard you on the front. And so he runs down and you see Nub Nub like waddling in, like, snack? Nub Nub is very interested in this snack thing that you
Y'all-
have prepared.
Y'all should all take one before Nub Nub gets over here. Yes, Nub Nub, of course we have snacks over here. Come on over, have one,
I
please.
take two and put one away.
I pick one up and wrap it in my webbing because, as it turns out, spiders don't have teeth. They have to inject things with an enzyme to pre-digest them before they slurp them up.
I see soup in my future.
So my guy comes down, waddling down from upstairs, sees the snack. The other people had grabbed him, and I'm like, "Ooh!" and comes down and picks it up, and, "Ooh, you made this?" And I'm looking at Fitzroy.
Yes, Nub Nub, absolutely. Please help yourself. Fill your belly. We're about to be out in the city. I don't always like to eat out of the stalls in the market areas. Sometimes that food's a little off. So please.
And my character is avoiding what he calls long leg scary face.
Which one?
Yeah, that could be several people.
Kind of avoid both of them. And...
Yeah, Krex and Chunder are, amused by Nub Nub. I was imagining, maybe Fitzroy encountered the Bappy people on one of his culinary excursions, and, Nub Nub joined the ship's crew to go see the space, and he quickly endeared himself to the rest of the casted crew of Ingest Quest.
My dear Nub Nub.
We both have large bellies.
Yeah, exactly.
One of us has impulse control.
What more do you need in common? We both like food. That's all you need. Great unifier.
So as you are, gathering your things and meeting up, the ship's first mate, Lagdouche, he's a Goliath, who you've come to learn. He was at one time an impound lat attendant, but he gave that up on the spur of the moment for a chance at greater fortunes aboard Illrigger, and he has been he's observant, and that he loves reading, and he's been a crew member ever since. He comes in and has a small sort of sending stone sort of thing for Fitzroy from your producers at the Black Forest Investment Group.
Doug, did you say his name is Lagdouche?
Yeah, Lagdush.
Okay.
Lagdush. Sure.
I like Dush. I think that sounds better.
Sure.
I like Lagdouche.
Take it away, chat.
I will call him
I just gotta call him
Lagdouche.
Nub Nub, see, the problem is that Nub Nub shortens things, and he doesn't want to avoid Lagdouche. That's a whole word. Part of
Just
it.
call him.
If I just call him Lag, no.
Is not what I thought you were gonna say. Thankfully.
Could you? I just really want to hear Nub Nub say it in Nub Nub voice.
That's our campaign goal.
Okay. So as we leave, I would absolutely put my mirror away, because I have people now to watch for me. So I watch their reactions to see when people are coming and going.
Okay. So Fitzroy, do you take the sending stone from Lagdush?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. But I am not. I prefer to stay out of the thick of combat, and I trust my traveling companion Nub Nub implicitly. So I would like to hand this very important artifact to Nub Nub. Nub Nub, my good man, you will hang on to this for us and ensure the safety of this ascending stone until we return to the vessel.
Lagdush is like, it's usually these have been coming in
Yay!
from your producer to let you know what the episode or what the series is about. I think this one.
Don't worry, Nub Nub will take care of this, and I will be your go-to.
I have to complicate your day a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you, Nub Nub. Ensure its safety. We'll keep track of it, sir. I understand your worries, but Nub Nub is an impeccable warrior.
He is. He's people's finest warrior. All right, so
Can't reach the top. I'm trying to salute.
I'm really picturing now. He's like less jointed. Like his arms only move at the shoulder, and his legs only move at the hip. So yeah, as you're talking and getting the thing, Randall, the pilot, and Captain Lorne, who is an Eladrin swordsman, bring the ship down to the docks of Neros 4 at Neros Gate, and you saw the Dawn Rose on your descent, and you can disembark the ship. It's chartered to you while you're here, and your producers have let you know that you are to meet with Nerlag Fire Roaster, who is a dwarf event promoter, and he can be found at the festival fairgrounds. There should be a large pavilion called Flavor Town, and that is where. Yes, you are heading to Flavor Town. Yeah, but there's tons of vendors and street food and all sorts of things. It's
What kind of
pretty
food?
big. All kinds. There's Smoke Meffet's Barbecue. You pass by the Gin and Out Burger on the way there. There's all sorts of exotic.
You need to get that slow on the uptake, but it's funny.
Yeah, so you will pass by the Gin and Out Burger. Yeah, just all sorts of things. There's soups, there's fried foods, there's literal elephant ears that are fried and covered in cinnamon.
So my character is like kind of going around and he stops, like just looking at things.
No. Am I familiar with like your concept of? As a matter of fact, what's the concept of money? Most of you have. Do most of you understand like the worth of money?
I have coins.
Well, what happens? Nub completely understands the worth of money. You just open the bag and you pull it out, and then you give it to people, and they give you food sometimes, and sometimes other things.
I understand that you meet creatures like these coins, and they're shiny and worth something to you, but you can't eat them, so...
So I just give them to other people.
Oh, God.
And they give him stuff.
No, my good man.
It's a giving stone.
I know that you're going to want to go and eat what we are here, so I have prepared for you a purse of spending money, which is like 30 copper pieces, and that's it, because I figure he's just gonna be handing these things away. So here you are, quite a lot of money, sir. Please spend it.
You're giving me giving stones?
Yes, don't spend any of your own money now, Nub. And then I'm gonna turn to Sirkas and Stan. Would either of you like any money? Just a little bit to spend while we're on our way to the tent. Maybe get yourselves a snack or something. Pick yourself up something fun.
I don't seem to have any problem finding things to eat.
Okay, but here we have to give them something before we eat them. And if they say things to you, you definitely can't eat them. Are we on the same level right now?
Okay, so this is a point.
That is a good rule.
I'm going to whisper to Fitzroy. Nub is quite cute to these other creatures. So when they interact with him and they think he is cute, I pick up things. And everything works out.
Oh, well, I thought, that we might have some trouble communicating on that level. So here's what we're going to do. I happen to have another purse full of copper coins for you as well. Hand these to people that you want to take things from, but don't take anything without giving them some of those first. You can spend it all in one place. I can see it already. That's fine. Take your money, spend it, enjoy yourself. Cass, is there anything I can get for you before we try and make our way to this pavilion?
If you're offering me currency, I'm certainly not going to say no.
Of course. The one sensible one. Here, there you are. That's I'll just give her a gold coin. I figure she knows what a gold coin is, and we'll deal with it on her own.
I don't know. It seems pretty insensible to me. Not sensible to me. I mean, I already got food, so I traded something that was, it's just stuff that you have in your wallet, and then I got food. Like,
yeah.
What's the problem? Why it's just weighing me down?
Five-hand Stan is super confident that if he threw these coins up into the air, it would definitely distract enough people that he could grab whatever he wants.
No.
So he's like, yes, this will be put to good use.
I'm going to blithely stroll through the departure area and mentally write off everyone and assume they're fine.
I will follow Fitzroy.
Everything's okay.
Yeah, Fitzroy actually questioned, like, what is their role as my crew for this show?
I figure Nub's muscle, yeah. And then I kind of back and forth on whether Stan is a solid traveling companion, but if he passes away at some point, he would also possibly be up for consumption. And then Sirkas is just scary, and she's scary enough that I'm like, this is also muscle. This is like a bone breaker. We can use this because she terrifies me. So if she terrifies me, then certainly someone else is going to be. So yeah.
All right. So yeah, there's manticore kebabs you pass, and there's people selling like little clips with exotic feathers on the end, and just all sorts of fair stuff. There's fair games and things like that. And there's a large amount of people of all races, mostly human. Neros 4 is a human civilization, and like I said, elves kind of are not as many of them, and they really seem to be like observing what's going on because they are concerned about the spread of humanity, who has just recently rediscovered spelljamming technology. So yeah, eventually you make your way to Flavortown. It is a large pavilion with a sign that reads Flavortown. It is it's in the thoroughfare where most of the food is, but it's like cordoned off, and there's seats and a stage at one end of it with 5 different stations set up, like cooking stations. Go ahead.
Nub Nub's eyes are as big as saucers. Like, I did not know this much food would be in one place. I'm from a small village.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're amazed. There's food aplenty,
mm-hmm.
of all different kinds. And so you make your way. You're given a participant pass by the check-in there, and you are led back to a small, like, little partitioned off office area where sits a dwarf. He is a male dwarf with spiky blonde hair, but he has a dark, close cropped beard. He has multiple thick gauge earrings and a brightly colored tunic with a flame motif on it. And he's like, "Oh man, it's off the hook. You guys finally got here. We are so excited to have Ingest Quest. This is going to be bananas." He's like, "I've tried some of your recipes. They're so good you could eat it off a monk's sandal. This is awesome." He explains that your producers at Black Forest have entered you into a cooking competition that will take place at Flavortown to celebrate, be part of the festivities for the Neroscape Pursuit.
How long do we have to prepare?
The competition is tomorrow. He's like, it's not until tomorrow morning, so he's like, you got all the rest of today and tonight. It's early in the morning still. You just got here.
I kind of lean over to I lean over to whoever is closest to me, and I say, like, Nub is very confused. I did not know we were on the hook exactly. And then he said it was the bananas. I like bananas, so this is probably a good thing.
Apparently we'll be cooking with fish and bananas.
He's like, "That's totally up to you, bro." He's like, "Look, amigo, there's 4 different dishes that all our competitors are choosing from. And we do have one surprise competitor with an exclusive dish that he'll be preparing. But he's like, you can pick, you can go for the stone crack chicken, or the boulet mignon, the saffron risotto, or what is the other one called? The chill chowder. So you got a beef, chicken, seafood, or a vegetarian dish that you can choose from. And you will have to gather the ingredients for it. They will give you, there's different regions of outside of Neroscape where they'll give you a small spelljamming skiff-like vessel to get there. And you will have to collect the ingredients, return, and prepare and present the dish. So what would you like to, what sounds interesting to you guys? You get seafood, chicken, beef, or vegetarian?
I have a question I don't understand.
What's up, amigo?
This dish has no meat in it. It's all made of what food eats.
As you can see, my companion's sensibilities are right on target. We will not be creating something that does not contain an animal.
All right.
Would anyone else like to weigh in with their opinion? Perhaps you, Stan?
I agree with Searcast.
I kind of felt like you would. Nub Nub, what do you think is tasty?
Well, I think that we should make something that is delicious.
which is everything.
That's my only requirement.
I agree. Something delicious.
Perfect, traveling companions. As you can see, we are definitely going to go with the Bulette.
Okay, the Boulet Mignon.
Boulet mignon.
All right. Well, in order to pursue that ingredient, then he gives you a large, like 2-foot diameter fibrous or disc of this fibrous material, and a wand, and a map that indicates the location to the several, many leagues east of the city. But in a spelljamming skiff, it should be fairly quick to get there.
I reach over and take the map.
Okay. Yeah, it shows Nero's Gate, and it's not a very super detailed map, but it does have location listed, marked on the map, which is, if I can scroll around and find it. I should have put these in alphabetical order, but
Circass,
that would have made it too easy.
You already grabbed the map out.
Yeah, I didn't ask. I just took it.
Okay, cool. What do I have left in my hands then?
A round disc of a fibrous material about 2 feet in diameter and a wand. And Nerlag explains that the disc is to be placed on the ground in the area marked on the map and activated with the wand, and it will the bait will draw out the subterranean creatures whose tender meat lies beneath hardened exoskeletons. But they're very dangerous to take down, but the 2 huge tenderloins are worth the risk for true foodies.
This sounds like it's going to be an excellent hunting trip. And as I'm saying that, I slowly hand the wand and disc to Five Hand Stan.
Okay. I quickly snatch them. And Five Hand Stan is a bit concerned about the description of the creature, the exoskeleton with squishy goodness inside. Mm-hmm. Sounded a little too familiar to him. He's watching Fitzroy even closer.
We could get a substitute,
And he is determined to catch the Boulet.
Very good. All right. And what is our time frame to complete this task before we have to come up with a finished dish?
He's like, well, look, amigo, the competition starts tomorrow at 11 a.m. He's like, so as long as you're back by then, you're good to go.
11 a.m. Very good.
So is there anything on the map, like a library, just out of curiosity?
I'm sure. I mean, Nero's Gate is a fairly large city, and I mean, I can't imagine there would not be a library there.
All right. It doesn't have to be on screen, but at some point, Circass is going to take a moment to go to wherever the place that looks like it's most likely to have esoteric information and go start asking about the black orb that she's looking for, but like this first.
Okay.
Well, we have a large amount of time. I imagine that the meat from this gnarly creature is probably going to take quite a while to cook. So we should probably get right to it. Does anyone else need to do anything? Nub, is your belly full, my friend? Very good. Very good.
All right, well, Nerlag's like, man, this is just totally gangster to have you guys here. I'm so excited to have Ingest Quest. Yeah, good luck, guys. I'm looking forward to it.
I really appreciate it. Thank you for the hospitality, sir, and I'll reach out to shake his hand.
Oh, he jumps up and he heartily shakes your hand like, the pleasure's all mine, bro.
Limpfish handshake like a proper gentleman.
Oh, he like double grabs you, pulls you in for a bro hug.
There. Thanks.
It's like, bring it in, bud.
That's hugging another man. That's very good. Thank you.
He's like, it's 1771, man. It's cool. It's cool now.
So, was that an aggressive action in your species?
Honestly, kind of, but not really. Not really. If I knew him, maybe. It's not important. You do not have to execute him on the spot. You have a good day, sir.
It's like, all right. Good luck. So so you're given over to a small skiff-like spelljammer. It's basically just like a flat open rowboat and stuff, but it has a spell jamming helm on the front of it. Does anybody care to take the helm? Taking the helm is, you would know this, anybody with any magical aptitude is able to attune to and activate the spell
I
jamming
think
helm.
Nub Nub wants to do it.
Yeah, Nub Nub's already like climbing into it. All right, so yeah, Nub Nub, you sit down in the seat. This is actually your first chance to pilot a ship yourself. You've been hanging out and seeing Randall do it, and I think you've got the hang of it.
Mhm.
And sitting down, you put your furry paws into the like
Mhm.
grooves where fingers would go, and you can spend any spell slot to activate the vehicle. And as you do, it lifts off the ground about
All right.
10 or so feet.
Okay. Spending a spell slot to activate it.
Yep.
And start piloting. And,
Sure.
Nub Nub is like, don't worry. Don't worry. Nub Nub has got you. You're in Nub Nub's furry paws now.
So I get confirmation that I don't need to worry from Fitzroy.
And
Well,
so
you could. Oh, go ahead.
it takes off like really fast, and it's like, whoa! And then I slow down, and it's like, whoa! And then Nub Nub trying to get hold of this, whoa! And then slow down. Whoa!
Well, I'm going to assume you do not have the vehicle's space proficiency, so you can make a check using whatever your spellcasting attribute is, which I believe would be wisdom.
We're gonna crash 5 minutes in.
All right, everyone, make new gear.
Okay, guys. Rest of this session is us rolling new tunes.
We've just been making the best decisions so far.
You're still alive.
Cacophony of good choices.
Okay, so that is a 15.
15. Oh yeah, Nub Nub, you spent enough time watching these guys that you do get the hang of it. You notice Randall's subtle finger movements on the helm to move it around, and
Whoa!
yeah,
Whoa!
yeah.
Whoa! Whoa! Whoa!
Yeah, you almost get the sense that despite the fact that the vehicle is, herky-jerky like that, Nub Nub might actually be doing that on purpose because he is successfully piloting.
I'm a little bit afraid of heights.
Well, you're not too far off the ground, but the ship moves unexpectedly fast, and you travel east out of town, going across rolling plains and so forth. Sir Cass, since you had the map, why don't you make a navigation check? I'm guessing, do you have navigator's tools proficiency, or does anybody?
No, I do not.
Okay, so you
Don't
can
worry.
also.
I'm navigating. No, I'm just kidding.
So I'd like you to make basically an intelligence check.
So I go where I think it is, and then someone makes a navigation to realize that I.
Yes.
13.
Yeah, so you do keep the skiff on course. It gets a little, a couple times you realize, whoa, we're going like too far east because the ship's going so fast over land.
I want to, between my hands, my multiple hands, pull out a cat's cradle and, kind of move it around to show him, specifically what he should be aiming for, and that's how I'm navigating.
Okay, that's awesome.
All right.
Web map.
I'm looking at the things that Fitzroy
She's
gave
using
me.
the web she's referring to the using the web to
Yes.
aid in navigation.
And
Uh,
GPS.
Nub, while you're driving, would you mind handing that nice stone I tossed you earlier, so just in case we need it?
I toss you the stone.
Fantastic. All right, I'll pack that away.
All right. So it's not too long, maybe, an hour or two before you travel out of the city and come closer to the craggy foothills leading up to a mountain range indicated on the map. Upon arrival, as you get a closer look, you're spotting irregular rocky protrusions sticking out of the ground covered in scrub.
Is this where we're supposed to be going?
According to the map, it looks like
Ah.
judging by the landmarks, sure.
Strange place.
I'll just kind of lean over the side of the boat, take a look at the ground below us. Does it look like there's any I guess I don't want to use information I may not necessarily have. I'm reasonably good at hunting beasts and
Yeah,
things.
absolutely.
Do I have a good sense of what a bulette is?
Make a nature check.
Nice. that dice goes away now. Rolled a 2. Killing it.
Yeah, as far as you know, I mean, it's just could be a native creature. You never, you've heard of filet mignon. Maybe you're just assuming this is a localized version of that.
I'll be honest with you. Is anyone here familiar with the kind of creature we're looking for? I understand that we're going to be putting down something to lure the beast in, but other than that, I don't really have any idea what we're looking for here.
7. It's, I think he said something about its hard exterior and soft in the middle. So
many things like that.
Turtle.
Or Stan.
Could be a turtle. Good guess.
Or like Stan.
I have an exoskeleton as well.
Oh. Okay.
Or Circas.
You meat creatures are the odd ones.
Also, Fitzroy, since you were kind of like looking down, observing around, make a perception check.
Oh, please don't betray me, dice.
Betrayal.
A 3.
Yeah, so like I said, you're just kind of nub maybe slowed the ship down as you approach it, and you're just, there's just chunks of like irregularly shaped racks sticking out of the ground as you're kind of going over it, and then it kind of gives way to like a larger open area.
Oh, this looks like as good a place as any. Circas, my navigator. How are we looking on location? Are we close to X marks the spot here?
As far as I know, we're pretty dead on.
Very good.
I hold out the 2 things. Fitzroy, when do we use these things? I'm holding up the wand thing and the...
I think after we've managed to put our feet on the ground. Nub, would you like to try your hand at parking?
I tuck the things away and grab onto the... with all my 4 hands.
There is no park here, but I can just stop.
Yeah, and the ship just stops midair. It is just floating about 10 feet off the ground.
No, it comes down to the ground and lands.
Okay, make another piloting check then, please.
Oh, please roll better than me.
16.
Yeah, you're a natural at this. Yeah, the ship just slowly and softly and gently lands on the ground.
We live another day.
Like a feather. Okay, I'm gonna depart and look for a nice amount of open ground. Maybe as much as I can get. The terrain, you said the terrain was kind of rocky and uneven around here.
Yeah, and then you'd passed out of that and it kind of like opened up into like a clearing of those racks. So it's like mostly flat. And there's littler bits of rack, but not the large chunks that were kind of sticking out of the earth that you had passed.
Did Nearlag Fire Roaster, did he give us like a word we're supposed to use for the wand? Or?
Yeah, an activation.
Alakabam! Okay.
Do you do? Oh, okay. You were just checking. Do you do that right now?
No.
Okay. Sure.
Mrs. Stan, sir, I think if you were to travel to the center of the clearing, set that disc down on the ground, and then use the wand, we'll probably have a creature come to us. I would say that once you've used the wand, you should quickly depart the area.
Is that what you'd like to do, Stan?
Yes, I will take the disc as he instructed, and I'm going.
And
to
it weighs about 5 or 6 pounds. It's not very heavy, by the way.
Well, I carefully hold it in 2 hands. I don't know how fragile it is. I've got
it seems pretty dense.
The one and the other, and I'm going to attempt to stealth.
Yeah, absolutely. If you didn't say it, I was going to.
All right, 23.
Yeah, your insectoid feet barely, just pad lightly across the ground into the cleared area.
Okay, and I will take my 2 hands on the left side and set it down.
All right.
Gently, and then scoot back away.
Sure.
If there are any trees or anything that I could climb, I may do that.
There's some of those larger chunks of rock that were, that were kind of like ringing the clearing.
Okay. So I will go towards where they are, but
Sure.
I will then climb one of the rocks.
Okay, make a perception check.
Okay. Perception. You're not being nice to me. 11.
So as you climb up their access, that's you're right up on them, climbing them. You see that there's actually like pictograms, excuse me, in writing. Like they look like they were kind of broken columns, so they're jagged and sticking out of the earth. But there's like pictures and some writing on them as you're scuttling up.
Okay. Is it a language or thing I recognize, or is it?
What languages do you know?
Ooh, good question. Telepathy.
Is that your only one?
Crew member value dropping quickly.
Hey, do you really need languages?
Well, you can discern that there's two different scripts on the columns. The writing is two different sorts of script.
All right, I know what the problem is. Yeah, I'm gonna say I don't think I have languages.
Okay,
Like,
well that makes sense. I mean, it's from an insectoid hive culture with telepathy. That you can like basically talk to anybody. So what he might not even have had need to learn or ever encountered any other things.
So I would say I've got common and Skaram, and that's it.
Okay. But the pictures though, you do notice they appear to be depicting like sort of a progression of history. So you see what you guess are human figures that are sort of being lifted up into civilization by a series of dwarves and elves.
I tuck it away in my head for telling Fitzroy later.
So I see Stan go out into the field, set the disc down, and then scuttle up a rock.
Yep.
Do I use this now? I say to whisper to Fitzroy. Now or later?
Kind of buy myself a second to answer. Pause. I just want to look around the clearing and see if anything looks out of the ordinary. Maybe like an animal trail leading in, like a big animal trail leading in, or anything like that.
What is your favorite terrain?
Oh, my favorite terrain is coastline.
Okay. Should have done seafood. Make an investigation check. Or no, you know what? Make a survival check.
I rolled an 18.
So you're looking, So you actually, you have a keen senses, and you can see that the earth is disturbed in a few different places. The smoothness of it appears to be like kind of like there's maybe like a 5 or 6 foot diameter lump trail. Like it's kind of hard to see because there's still like grasses growing up, but you just kind of notice a few different trails leading around the area.
Well, I was going to the market, so I definitely didn't bring a crossbow with me, but I'm wishing I had. I'm going to turn to Sirkas and Nub. I have a sneaking suspicion, and you can tell me if this is too meta, but I have a sneaking suspicion that Stan has the right idea. I think we should all try and find some boulders to climb on top of.
Interesting. Do you think we're looking for some kind of worm, maybe? And
well,
I will crawl on a boulder.
I'd like to just point out to Sirkas the areas of disturbed earth I saw. This looks like something was burrowing, and that's much bigger than a mole hole. So whatever it is came in and out and made a big mess of doing it.
Don't worry. I understand completely. Nub completely understands what you're saying. We need to dig this thing up. And so he transforms into a dog.
Okay.
And he starts sniffing around and like digging in certain areas.
Oh God.
Okay. Are you digging around? Oh, go ahead.
I am not going to crawl on a boulder. I am going to stay near Nub because I am now concerned that he's going to get himself.
So you're remaining on the ground, but near
Yes.
Nub. Okay.
Yeah, I transform into a dog and I'm sniffing around.
Okay.
And digging in certain areas.
All right. Well, as you
no miscommunication whatsoever.
Are you sniffing around near where Stan put the disc? Or
yes.
Okay. All right. So as the rest of you are watching Nub Nub do that, I will need you to roll initiative. As the ground near, like from the edge of the clearing, you hear like a rumbling, and see like a large another one of those raised areas of earth.
Thus, the story of Nub Nub was over before it started.
We hardly knew you, Nub Nub.
Would you have, Megan? 8?
Mm-hmm. I put it in the.
I see that. All right.
11?
12 for me.
7.
Okay. All right. I got 10. What'd you get, Fitzroy? 11?
An 11, sir.
Okay. All right. So, actually, Nub Nub, as you were, whoops, hit the wrong button. And Nub Nub, as you are sniffing around, kind of paying attention to the ground, I think dogs do have keen senses, so make a perception check with advantage.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. Good pick, Nub Nub.
All right, so that is going to be a 19.
All right, you
Hey.
actually do smell something and pick up the sound of rumbling earth beneath you.
Okay, I go in that direction, wherever the rumbling is.
Okay, you go towards it, and as you do, a huge.
I start digging towards it.
All right, and it reaches you with a gigantic maw.
I
filled
reached it.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. As you're digging down, moving earth, you actually are like half in the thing as its open maw bursts out of the earth.
Since I made it a point to be on the ground with Nub Nub and follow him, can I grab him and pull him out of the jaws of this thing?
Make a dexterity saving throw.
So my character was digging down, and at first it's like, haha, I found something. And then when it sees the big jaws, it's like, like,
Oh no, 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 no.
I nat ones.
Okay, so you actually stumble and you're reaching for him, and this maw is gigantic, and it actually around its maw, like 2 claws probably the size of your torso, like burst out of the earth next to it, and each of you will get attacked by the boule.
The little hairs that are all over my body are sticking up to make me look bigger because I am not okay with this.
This is not acceptable.
don't worry, you guys. I have 3 hit points as a dog.
Oh,
Poof.
I got let's see, so for Surcast 14 to hit.
14 on the dog, yes, that's a hit.
And what about Surcast? What's your AC?
Yes, that hits.
All right. So each of you are going to, and I am not going to use the average.
Is it above
damage.
3?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, because
Yeah, your dog forms.
No,
Yeah.
I actually I forgot. I take the extra damage if it rolls over that, I believe.
Right. You're each going to take 17 points of damage
Ooh.
holy God.
as
I
a gigantic maw and claws just rends out of the earth.
Okay, so funny thing, I forgot I have 15 hit points. So the dog has 3 hit points. So the 3's gone, and then I take 14. I am now at 1 hit point.
Mm-hmm.
Same. I
All
only
right.
had 18 hit points to begin with.
Okay. I'm looking at you, Fitzroy, just like.
I whip out.
But despite that, it is Nub Nub's turn in the initiative order. You had sniffed at the thing, and then you didn't actually get to take an action as this thing
So
surprised
as
you.
I'm getting attacked, I'm like, it's very big, very
Mhm.
scary.
Oh yeah, it's
I'm not very scared.
it is large.
So I'm going to turn into a brown bear. Like,
Okay.
"Ah,
Awesome.
scarier. So I am going. So I bonus action turn into the bear,
Mhm.
and I'm going to make first is a bite attack,
Absolutely. Its AC
That is-
is 17.
a 24 to hit. So
That
that's
hits.
gonna be, 8 damage with the
Mhm.
bite, and then the claws are 19 to hit for that is going to be 12 slashing damage.
All right. So yeah, as Nub Nub's dog form drops and he changes into a large bear and rends into this thing, finding the chinks in its armored exoskeleton. Fitzroy, you can actually see like that does look like good meat under there, as he
Under
tears
Nub skin? Or...
No, under the creature. He just tore into this thing with his giant bear claws, just and manages to tear off chunks of its bony exoskeleton, reveal the juicy meat that you will be cooking in the competition below. And then, did you want to move or anything, or you want to?
No, I'm right there. Just.
All right. So Fitzroy, it is your turn. You're up on a rack, watching this unfold.
Not anymore.
Okay.
I yell over to Stan, Nub's bird dogging something. We got to deal with this. I whip out my pig sticker and charge in. I don't know if I can make it into combat this round.
Yeah, yes, you can. Sure. I mean, it wasn't like you were that far away.
I will attack.
Sure. Its AC is 17.
Oh, that's not going to go well for me. Oh, no, wait. 18.
Yeah, you hit, man. You get that kitchen skewer in there. Jab at this thing.
4 points of damage.
All right. It does howl in pain. I mean, you got it right in there where Nub had exposed. It's flesh beneath. All right. Any bonus action or anything? Okay, Searcast, you are right in the mix with Nub as a brown bear and Fitzroy jabbing at this thing.
I'm gonna disengage because I have 1 hit point left, and I'm gonna get on a rock. And
it's not really. It's not. It doesn't seem to be too focused on you anyway. It's got 2 things that have injured.
There's blue all over me, and spiders bleed blue, so that's not good news.
Well, we could always go with the hit points are an abstract, and it just severely sapped your energy to dodge out of the way of this thing.
I think she's bleeding to death. We're going to have to fix that.
Did you want to, you disengaged, you want to do anything else? Do you have an action attack? Or
Let's see. I have medicine as a skill, but I was thinking I was going to flavor it as if I'm going to make a medicine check. It's me wrapping wounds with my webbing.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So can I do that, or is that cool? Well, that's what I'm doing. 14?
Yeah, I mean, you successfully web up your wounds.
Yeah, good. That's what I do.
Sticky fluid. Okay, and then we're at the 5-hand stand.
Oh, right. I am.
So I'd say you're probably about 40 or 50 feet away up on a rack.
Okay. I am going to
be awesome right now. Be awesome.
All right. I am going to jump down and dash. Use my cunning action to dash.
Okay.
So that I can get up and kind of behind it wherever I think is going to be a good spot, and then I'm going to stab at it.
Okay. And all this is taking place probably about, we'll say, I don't know, like 20 or 30 feet from the disc, which is out in the middle of the clearing. Because Nub had ran over too.
I wish I had been paying attention to what the disc does.
We don't need to know right now.
You never know. You could use a bonus action to activate it if you'd like, but you used your bonus action to dodge.
Well, I get.
Unless you want to retro that,
Ben should get 2 of those.
So I get a dash as a cunning action. I also get an extra bonus action as long as I don't use it to do the same thing.
All right.
So I swung and missed. A 10 does not hit. But I'm going to think that perhaps it'll attract it. So I'm going to get my hand to make sure there's like a clear line and kind of aiming at that and go
Alakazam.
Awesome sauce.
Awesome sauce.
That is totally the keyword that you were given, and as you do,
would say that
it would. The disc actually makes a lot, like it starts vibrating and goes like into the ground, and it actually shakes the whole area around, and the thing kind of like looks over at it and it draws his attention away. And is there anything else you wanted to do on your turn, Stan?
No, I'm just going to position myself for a strike if I
okay.
see the.
So it is back up to the top of the order, and the creatures which attention is drawn to this thumping disc actually kind of steps, away from you guys. You can't get an attack of opportunity, and it just uses its powerful legs. Actually, you can see its claws like dig into the earth, and its muscles ripple as it pushes off the ground and leaps through the air like 15 feet in the air and just comes down right on that disc and is just like clawing around, kind of confusedly as it gets there, where the thumping has drawn its attention. So let's see, Fitzroy, Nub, and Stan can all have attacks of opportunity as the thing leaps out of your way.
As it's leaping out of the way, my claws rake it at 17 versus AC for 12 points of damage.
All right, yeah, you rend this thing as it kind of like scrapes down its back as it's leaping away.
I poke it again, 6 points of damage.
All right. Stan?
I hit it. Finally. With my sneak attack, it's going to be 14.
Wow, okay. It is severely injured, just bleeding profusely from several wounds, and its attention is diverted for the time being by the bait that you had activated, and it is actually Nub's turn up next. It's been its turn leaping away.
So how far away is it?
It's about 15 to 20 feet.
Okay. Bear, charging, growling, and then I make my 2 attacks.
First go for it, man.
Is going to be the bite
Kill
attack.
it, Nub!
15 to hit is a miss.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so the bite does nothing. 20 to hit for the claws. That is going to be 7 damage.
All right, yeah. So your teeth kind of slide off its bony exterior, but you managed to get that claw in there, that big old brown bear claw, and take another chunk out of it. Careful not to damage the tenderloin, though. You're careful of that. And Fitzroy, it is your turn.
I'm kind of at a toss-up whether I should just in case this thing doesn't die, cast Cure Wounds on Nub just to make sure he doesn't go down.
So funny thing, I'm a bear. I'm actually at full health currently. It's just the Nub. My character is at low hit points. So
I'm scared it's going to turn around and eat the bear, and by virtue of that, eat the Nub.
The problem is I don't know if you can cure wounds while I'm in a bear.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I don't think you can. I was gonna say maybe you could ready an action, but the way the initiative is, it would they both already went, so it kind of just wastes.
Okay, then our goal is to run up and poke it again.
All right.
16 plus 2, 18.
You get it.
For 5 points of damage. God, die! Why won't you die?
It is definitely beyond bloodied. It is messed up. And then next up we have Circas, who has bound her wounds and is watching this unfold from atop a craggy rock.
I want to cast Witch Bolt.
All
I
right.
love you. Thank you. Please nuke it to death.
You can absolutely cast Witch Bolt. That's the one that's like electricity. It just keeps going, right?
Yeah. It's force lightning.
Yeah.
So,
how does this Witch Bolt emerge from Circas's...
I have to roll to hit, so that's 21 to hit. Do I
that
hit?
Hits. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so she's gonna, the 2 lower arms are going to, shoot forward, and make a little shape, and the lightning kind of surges from her fingertips. And...
Awesome.
7 damage.
7 damage. All right. So yeah, you feel the presence of your patron from beyond the Great Web, giving you the power to channel this lightning blast that persists. It just lances across his body, and it's crackling. And Fitzroy, being so near the meat actually cooking from the lightning, like, this is gonna make a good dish.
Oh, nice shot, Circas.
And then it is 5-hand stand. We've got Fitzroy and the bear up in mixing it up, and you just Circas sear it with her lightning witch bolt, which is persisting, and it is your turn.
Okay, I'm going to attempt to get into a spot that is like kind of basically like a nice straight line, and
Okay.
I don't really know which part we're not trying to hit, but I guess it's not the brain, so I'm gonna try and like go for more
It's the
of
tenderloin, so
Yeah.
along
Good
like
guess.
the meat along the spines.
the side of the side of the head or something.
Okay.
14. So
That does not hit.
can I use a bonus action to attack again? I have multiple
Yeah,
things.
Yes, you have like
Alright.
4 arms, I believe, right?
12. All right. So I'm going at it, but it's not
Tink,
it's
tink,
not
tink,
there.
tink,
So I will
tink.
then disengage as my
Okay.
other bonus action.
Sure. All right, and that disc continues to thump away. So it's back up to the top with the creature. It is going to have a disadvantage on its attacks because the thumping disc is just distracting its tremor senses. And it is going to take a swipe at Nub Nub, or actually it's going to take a bite at Nub Nub because he has
No.
rent him horribly.
Mhm.
And that is a 13 to hit.
That's it.
Oh, actually, sorry, I didn't do it with disadvantage. It's a 10.
That's a miss. I have an
Yeah.
AC of 11.
So yeah,
Yes!
I mean it's it just like brings its huge maw around, kind of
I'm
wildly
like,
snapping.
holding it open or something.
He's like scuttling away like on a rolling ball, like at a circus bear. Whoa! Getting out of the way. So yeah, it is that disc is distracting quite a bit, and Nub Nub, it is your turn, as you know.
Okay, I'm
Here
making
it
2
goes.
attacks.
Go
Bite
for it.
and claws. That is a 15 with the claws and a 15 with the bite. So both of them miss.
Yeah, yep. You,
Okay. So I'm trying to bite it, but it just keeps bouncing off. We're both
Mhm.
like going at each other.
a
What's
deadly
funny-
dance.
So I roll the damage dice, and it's 1, 1, 1, 1. It's all ones.
That's worth noting.
Okay, that's it for me.
All right, and then Fitzroy. This thing's very, very, very injured. You've done a lot of damage to it.
Feeling super useful right now. Here we go.
You got some hits in. Death by 1,000 chef's knife cuts.
See ya, Cass. I hope you have another lightning bolt ready. And I'll whack it with my sword again, but I don't hit. I roll
Alright.
an 8.
The lightning's actually still going on, and it is
You're just like-
Cass's turn.
And I do continue to focus on that lightning. So
Yeah, and I don't think it's like you don't have to roll to hit again. It's just
No, I
on
don't
it.
have to
Yeah.
roll to hit again. I do 3 damage.
And I think it's just a bonus action to do, like you can still do something else, right, while you're concentrating, if you want. I think.
No,
isn't
if I take another action, then the effect ends, but I can still do bonus actions.
Oh,
But I
okay.
don't have anything to do with bonus actions.
All right. Then Stan.
All right.
Kind of need a whammy right now.
All right.
Whatever you got.
I will go, and let's see. A 15 will not hit, but a 17 will hit.
It will, and you will get your sneak attack.
Oh, nice. 17.
How do you want to do this?
I will leap on top of it and stab it right where the spine is, where it meets its head, where there's a little space to shove
All right,
my
yeah, you
grandfather's
do.
arm in.
And as you do, you ride the beast to the ground as it just smashes down to the ground. Its body actually covering the disc, so you kind of hear like the underneath its body. It's got a cool beat.
Accompanied by bass theme song. Excellent.
Yep.
All right, I'm going to then, I guess, point at the creature and try and say the command word "awesome sauce" again and see if it turns off.
It does.
Great.
It's like, and then fucks up your cabbage
Uh,
patch.
Nub Nub knowingly comes over to you and goes, "Meow." In a congratulatory meow.
I
So-
will bow to him. You fought
Nub
well as
Nub.
well. Nub Nub.
Nub Nub's not looking too worse for the wear right now as a bear, right?
Correct.
No, I don't think you've hit it all.
Okay. All right.
Nub Nub was pretty wrecked, but not the bear.
I'm going to march directly towards Circas
Okay.
and just throw the blade away. Come here, Circas. We need to take care of that and just cure wounds for.
I'll come down off my rock for this purpose. Is everyone else okay?
6 hit points.
Meow.
Well, it looks like we got what we came for, and judging by where that one came from, I would not like to see another one of those come up. And I try and high five Stan as I walk by, but I don't know if he knows what that is, so I'm just gonna.
And then if his hand comes up.
5. And I just slap him with all my hands and the mage hand.
That's very close to what I wanted. All right, good kill. Good teamwork.
So
Yes, congratulations.
as the bear, I'm gonna try and pick up the boulette. So does it actually? Can I pick it up, or is it too heavy? I assume it's too heavy.
Yeah, it's like as big as like a like a Buick,
Oh, okay, yeah. So
a Bulik.
Smaller rhino or something. But anyway, that doesn't mean Nub Nub isn't going to be trying.
Sure. Fitzroy, do you want to try to use your cooking tools to cut out the tenderloins, or would you like to
Yes.
try to load the whole thing back on the ship? It's up to
Well,
you.
this thing is huge. There's no way.
Yes.
I don't really feel like we can realistically take it with us. So, but
In the background, you see Nub Nub like sliding it slowly.
Yeah.
Like it starts trying to pull it, and then it goes to the other side, and then starts pushing, and then goes to the other side and starts to pull it.
Nub, if you would not mind staying as a bear for a minute, I could use those big, strong hands of yours. Bring those paws up here, and can I like have Nub with like all of his strength as a bear, like assist me in ripping the creature open? To
Oh,
try
absolutely.
the ones out? Oh, see, bam.
I look
You
at
can
him and I just go, "Wow."
Okay.
You can have advantage on your cooking tool skill check.
Oh yeah. I rolled a 20.
A nat 20?
Yeah, I don't need those
Oh.
for combat though. Don't worry about that.
Well,
Just-
this is your forte, man. He is a chef, and he expertly, with Nub Nub's help, manages to perfectly, intactly remove both the tenderloins, which are like, I don't know, 5 feet long each. I mean, they're probably like this thick or more around. And while doing that, also you, since you critted with your forte, your cooking, it occurs to you like, maybe we can incorporate like parts of its shell in the presentation, because presentation is part of the cooking challenge.
It is part of the
I
deal.
swoop up the parts with shell. Wow.
Easily, yes. They're very heavy, but as a bear, it is no problem for Nub Nub to gather those heavy pieces of boule
Piece of
shell.
tenderloin, like that.
Yes.
Anytime they toss away like a paw or some kind of claw thing, I'm going to snatch it up and kind of clean off the meat bits and then stick the bone part or whatever in one of my pockets.
Sure. Yeah,
And
there's
I turn away
absolutely,
from everyone to do it.
Like, while this is going on, I want to like kind of come up where Stan is, and in true tsundere fashion be like, "You fought well, Praything." I don't look happy about admitting that.
Quite the compliment. Would anyone like any other parts of this beast? I want to get the eyes out of this thing.
Absolutely. Yeah, with that crit, I mean, yeah, just pretty much anything you want to harvest from this thing.
Sweet.
Eyes can be, made into jellies and things like that. Who knows what'll impress the judges for this contest?
Excellent. All right, yeah, I really want to get the eyes. Is this the kind of creature that has a lot of fat on it?
Not a lot. I mean, it's a very muscular hunter, so and it's a bony exterior, and the fact that it lives underground means it doesn't really need to protect itself against cold and such. But there is a layer of fat.
How hard is it for me to try and get the belly off of it? Just like literally belly button in the middle, just like a chunk of belly meat.
Oh yeah, you could do that. Again, you
Doing
critted,
it.
so whatever you know.
Sweet. Special. That's a special piece. Get in here. No, will you flip this thing over for me? Oh, you are the best. What a saint. Here we go. This is the tasty part.
When you said tasty.
That tastes good. Can I have it now?
Yeah, I mean, you got the tenderloin was the main thing. So if you want to chew on some other stuff as a bear, you can certainly gnaw into some raw boule meat if you like.
Yeah, I'll get part of a bone or something, or this would not.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, and start gnawing on it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and it is delicious, as you thought it might be. All right.
I will retrieve the disc once it's like they've rolled it off.
Yes,
At
Nub
one
Nub
point,
has flipped the thing over.
I'll snatch the disc up.
Okay.
I think we have everything we need. Are we I assume we're going to use the Spelljammer, like our ship is the place we're going to do our cooking, right?
No, that was the cooking stations back at Flavortown.
Okay, they have cooking stay. They have.
Oh
cooking
yes, yes.
Fancy.
It's like a chef competition. There will be several teams.
Okay, all right. Well, I think we have everything we need. We definitely need to get some rest. Nub, you're going to need a day off, son. So let's head home.
All right. Okay, so yeah, you can definitely head back into Nero's Gate aboard your spelljamming vessel. Can I get another piloting check?
So I get into the skiff, and then I'm like, wow, and I'm like really confused, like why my paws don't fit. And the other thing, like leans over.
Yeah. Oh, because you're still a bear, right?
Yeah. My rolls have been horrible, so I'd rather not crash us into the ground.
I transform back to normal. I'm like,
Okay.
And also, that's when I'm like,
Yeah.
that one hit point.
That was really tough, guys.
Nub thought he was food back there. Nub not for eating.
No worries, Nub. I brought something just special for you. I cast a good berry.
Okay.
Just hand Nub all the good berries. And it's it's what is it?
Let me know if you want a bandage.
Oh yeah, that's probably. I mean, that's like a really good idea.
Sure, yeah. I would like bandage.
So I will then proceed to wrap his injured parts in spider web.
All right.
Thanks, yeah. So then I'm going to roll my piloting check to pilot us back.
Yes.
I believe in you. Oh no! Lie! No lie!
So yeah, despite the good berries and the webbing, and that did take a lot out of Nub, and his mind is elsewhere. And you actually, as you're piloting, and skimming over the thing, you actually come over a hill, and there is one of those rockier columns sticking out that you kind of like glance off of the skiff, and it kind of like skids to the ground for a moment, and it kind of like comes to land momentarily in a grassland, and you're not far from the city, but you actually are. I need everybody to make a dexterity saving throw.
But the dice don't like me. Oh, I rolled a 19.
As did I.
Oh
right.
yeah,
16.
Matchies.
17.
So yeah, you actually, you all like kind of tumble from the ship, but aren't hurt or anything. You just roll to the ground, and as you come up in the taller grass, you see on the ground there's like little stone figurines of like mice and little insects and things in the ground, just like scattered in the grass around there.
This is very interesting.
Are they small?
Yeah, they're like normal size, but they're just like little, like a little mouse or just beetles and other little critters and things kind of scattered around in the ground. Okay.
Oh.
Did I see her pocket one of the beetles?
I don't know. Make a perception
Yes.
check.
I wasn't hiding.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, okay, good.
I just, out of, maybe this is a habit at this point, I'm just gonna look around and make sure nobody's watching them just randomly pick the beetles out. Like, is there anyone near us or
Make a
watching?
perception check.
4?
No, you don't. It looks like you're in the clear. You don't see or hear anything around. So there's like little cricket sounds and nature sounds, but nothing unusual or anything like that.
So our spelljamming skiff is just beat to heck at this point.
No, it just was grounded by he just had a mishap in piloting and managed just crash maybe but it's taking up a little of your time and getting back.
I'm
like
very
that,
sorry.
It's okay, but it's not like it's smashed or not functional or anything. You just kind of like got taken by surprise by an unexpected obstacle and sidetracked a little bit.
Nub
Gonna
nub.
have to buff out those scratches.
Perhaps you're tired. Would you like to switch? I will drive.
Okay.
That's a fine
Nub
idea.
will rest.
You can
Dude.
concentrate on eating those berries.
Do you want to take like a short rest or anything before you get back on the skiff, or no?
Well, I meant rest. I didn't mean like short rest.
Oh, okay. Just,
Literally
yeah,
on
just catching
site.
your breath and stuff.
Yeah,
Gotcha. Okay, no problem.
We could use a short rest if you guys wanted to. Like, we could just do a short rest real quick, just to yes, no, maybe.
I'm a warlock. I get my spells back on a short rest. I'm all about this.
I'm fine either.
Okay, all right.
Fitzroy, would it be beneficial to grab herbs and different things from the region? Isn't that something you do in cooking?
I like the way you think, my friend. I'll scout around a little bit, and I think the two of you, motioning towards Circas and Nub Nub, I think the two of you should take a minute to get yourselves together.
I will come with
That's a
you.
good idea.
Okay.
Excellent.
So yeah, if you're gathering around, you can make a survival check to gather additional ingredients and things like that.
Can I start knitting a sweater and it still count as being rest actions?
Yeah, that's light activity, right?
Cool,
You're literally doing that while we're playing this game right now.
Well, it's not a sweater.
Well, I mean, you're knitting.
Yeah.
Is Weaver's Tools one of your proficiencies?
It should be, but
Man, make a roll. See how good this sweater's going.
cool.
I got a total of a 20 for my survival check. I rolled a 16 plus 4.
14. I'm making it nub sized.
That's
With,
very considerate of you.
actually, with your survival check too, you do gather some berries and plants, and drawing on your culinary knowledge, you kind of occurs to you like, hey, this kind of berries and things are the natural foods for the cockatrice. It's part of its normal diet. And
I immediately look back towards the little stone figurines on the ground. Did they look incredibly detailed by chance?
they do.
Oh God!
I pocket a few of them.
Sure.
Would you like me to make a roll to put 2 and 2 together? Or
Sure. Yeah, you can roll that if you like.
So I'm not completely metagaming this. I got a 13.
Yeah. So you would know that, the cockatrice's infamous peck actually is not permanent, but that is, what they eat, and they often eat small mice and insects like that too.
And I'm probably, how far away from camp did I get when I was like running around trying to find
Not
some
far. I mean, you're just kind of like the immediate area. It's not like you were like miles away. I figured like 100 yards.
Okay.
You also know that they're nocturnal generally.
They're nocturnal.
Yeah. And it's like the afternoon right now.
I want to make sure that Nub Nub and Circas get a chance to rest. So I'm just going to keep this to myself for now.
Okay.
And I'm going to kind of, maybe Stan's listening. Can I like think things and have Stan pick it up? Like,
Sure.
You
I
probably
guess whether he picks it up or not is up to him, I suppose, right?
You could probably give me a look, and I'll just know that means you want to talk to me.
okay. I will turn around and like kind of, bop Stan and be like,
What?
because I don't know how all this works. So I'm going to point at my brain like, you have to talk to this part now. I have a sneaking suspicion that there might be cockatrice or some other nefarious creature marching around here, but my understanding is that the creatures only come out at night. So I vote we let Nub Nub and Circas get their rest on while we pick up a few more things, but we should stay close to camp.
Agreed.
Cool.
All right.
Will you do me one more favor, Stan? Will you pick up as many of those little things on the ground as you can find, the bugs and whatnot?
Yes. I'm very... I just start shoving things in pockets.
Nice.
All right. So yeah, you gather several small stony figurines of creatures.
Okay.
But otherwise, the time goes by uneventfully. while you rest and take your short rest, you can use your hit dice if you'd like. I totally forgot to mention at the top of the stream also that the players also have access to and able to use the alternate hit dice features that the Nerdarchy guys came up with that we are collecting into a book that will be on the store soon. But it did not come up yet.
I just want to wait. Like, I'm going to hang out by the boat, keep an eye on those two while they're resting.
Okay. Make a perception check while you're just chilling on the boat.
5?
Yeah, I mean, you don't see anything. There's just the tall grasses swaying in the breeze. You see the same kind of stone columns that you'd seen earlier with the pictograms on them. Way off in the distance, you see what looks like another ship similar to yours that you guess is like speeding along back towards Narrow Skate from what you'd guess would be like the coastal area that was on the map. Probably another competitor returning.
We gotta wait. We gotta wait until these two are rested.
Yeah, I mean, the rest of the short rest is only an hour. It passes uneventfully, so you can get back on the ship. And Stan, did you want to try to pilot the ship back?
Yes.
All right, so you can spend a spell slot of any level and make a navigation check, or just or a spell casting ability score check if you do not have that skill.
That would be an 11.
Okay, it's a little unusual for you to get used to it. You'd never piloted a Spelljammer before, but you do manage to get it up in the air and moving, and you head back to Nero's Gate with your Boulet tenderloins for the Boulet Mignon dish. You also have local ingredients that you've gathered to complement it, and special parts of the Boulet for presentation purposes.
Mm-hmm.
So is there anything else you wanted to do the rest of the day? It's probably like 4 or 5 in the afternoon, or you could just chill out and you could go back to the ship, or they have put rooms available for their featured guests of the competition.
My character would probably turn into a mouse and then start going around just exploring, smelling the different foods.
Oh, okay. Well, you have a hell of a time doing that. There's, like I said, there's manticore shish kebabs that are served on the spines of the creature. There's like a, very popular smoked mephits barbecue is seems to always have long lines. There's flavored ice and just all kinds of fair foods all around there.
I would like to, before everybody checks out, could I have everyone come back to the preparation tent about 3 a.m. so we can get to work on getting our dish done before 11 a.m. in the morning?
Indeed.
All right. Did you want to try to get anything, Nub, in your investigations? Or are you just sniffing? You want to try to? I mean, there's plenty of refuse too. As a mouse, it's like a little dropped chunk of meat would be a huge amount to
Yeah.
A grape. Just one grape.
Piece of pizza. You can drag back down into the subway.
I'm going to lay out all the things back in my quarters. Lay out all the things I have that require a little bit more drying.
Okay.
And basically anything that Fitzroy had taken or picked up that was an herb or a berry, I also picked up some of them and stowed them away in my pockets. And I'm going to let them sit out.
Okay. At some time in the night, several of the beetles and mice and things, figurines, actually, kind of the stone on them falls away, and they are living in your possession, in your presence. Not all of them, but some of them.
Okay. If I can, I will go around the room, make a game out of snatching them up, and I will carefully put them into a glass container that I have
Terrarium.
for my different collection. So these will be my living trophies from my finds.
Okay. Is that in your quarters on the Illrigger?
Yes.
Okay, so he's building a little terrarium in there. And Searcast, the beetle, also unpetrifies, so you have a little beetle crawling around if you'd like to keep that.
I eat it.
It is delicious, of course.
You're going to
I'm
be
gonna-
my pet.
I want to go. I
Let me
want to go to
think.
the library.
Stan's got a whole terrarium of these things. Oh yes. Okay. What would you like to research at the library?
I just want to research like things that might be the black orb I keep seeing in my sleep. Like, see if I can find anything on that. Do I roll?
Make an investigation check.
Nice.
16.
There is a little disused part of the library that's kind of filled with dusty tomes. They actually consider it a sort of what's the word I'm looking for? Like a low quality fiction section. Seems like there's several galactic tall tales about entities and an area of wild space that's like beyond the Phlogiston, which most people are like, there's nothing beyond the Phlogiston. By the way, in case you don't know, the Phlogiston is a multicolored gas that permeates the entire universe, and within that gas are the crystal spheres or solar systems that these planets reside in. But there's several myths and just like almost like for lack of a better term, like kids comic book type of literature that sure, there's entities and something beyond the Phlogiston, but it's not considered like academic.
It's like fairy tale.
Yes, but almost like a jokey fairy tale, like Santa Claus or something. Unless there's people out there that believe Santa Claus is real. I'm sorry.
Killing all those little kids that are watching
Yeah.
Some little 9-year-old just turned to his parents.
We've got to talk.
Yeah.
What's going on here, Mom?
Yeah.
So,
But you would, being who you are, you know that there is credence to some of that, and it is not all fairy tale.
well, if there's anything remotely or like anything that could potentially be useful later, I'm gonna steal the book and leave. But if there isn't, I'll leave them where they are.
Okay, and where are you keeping are you just holding the books when you return to the ship?
Yeah, I mean, like I have a bag
Sure.
that I made myself.
Okay. And as you come back to the ship, you sort of get Krex Blasto, the halfling starmancer, stops you, in the hallway, and he says, basically says that, like, he noticed a certain, he can kind of sense the absence of starlight in your aura, and he explains that he had once been interested in something beyond the stars, and he says that there is, but there's something even beyond that as well. So he kind of warns you to, it's a tricky path to walk, but he's not going to. He encourages you to pursue your curiosity.
Unfortunately, I have good footing for tricky paths.
It's indeed, more than I have ever had in any of my forms, he says.
Any of your forms. Remind me to follow up on that later.
He gives you a knowing nod and heads back to his posh quarters. He's a bit of an extravagant halfling. He definitely likes the finer things. He's got all kind of like rich silks and is much more extravagant than any of the other ship's quarters. So, is there anything else anybody else would like to do before preparing for the competition?
I just want to head back. Like, I'm gonna go get some rest as soon as I can, and then at like 2 a.m, head back out to the cooking tent and start hanging out there.
All right, so you make your way over there, and there is several other of the competitors. Not in the prep area. There's plenty of room for everybody, but you see that one of the other competitors has large red plant-like bulbs that they're drying out using a series of cantrips like firebolt and things to kind of accelerate the process. There is another team with just a giant clam that kind of is chilling anything in the area. Getting too close, it kind of is emanating a chilling aura. And there is another team that has several lizardy chicken-like corpses that you know are cockatrices. They had they are preparing the stone crack cacciatore dish using the cockatrices. And there's another team of gnomes that seem like they're kind of all scurrying around, and they have like boiling pots and steam and pressure cookers, and every now and again like the lid of the pot will like kind of bubble up, and you see them all like kind of secretively push it back down. They don't want anybody to know what their secret recipe is or what they are making.
Time for us to sabotage. No, I'm just kidding.
That's when we go
Start
sideways.
dumping stuff into them when they're not looking.
Yeah. And yeah, make a cooking utensils check if it's right.
Come on, don't let me down.
Oh, by the way, I've never cooked before. No, just kidding.
18.
So yeah, you're glancing around, and it looks like the other competitors are, have a handle on what those gnomes, though. It's like you're looking at like the ingredients that they have on, and you're like, I have no idea what these guys are making. There's like several different kinds of meat, like that would just not even taste good together. They're using like red and white wine to make the same sauce and everything. It's like,
why?
and they're just kind of like pouring everything together. And it just,
Gnomes.
you're like, this is.
That looks really good.
So if you'd like to tell me like what kind of preparation you would like to do, like what's your ultimate goal? You have a filet mignon as your main dish, but what would you as a team like to present to this competition?
I would like to polish any plates or anything that we're going to use as presentation. I feel like I've got a bit of Five Handstand has a bit of knowledge of that, but
sure. Make a what would that be? Make a nature check to clean up the.
We still have the scale or the I forget what the armor.
Yeah.
So we have that. So I give it to him.
18.
Okay. Yeah. So you expertly get all the organic matter off of the plates, and maybe you could even like use those as plates to plate it on, if you like things like that.
That would be really cool.
I have a game plan for those of you who are interested. I have something that all of us are going to need to do. See, Cass, I've seen you consume food before by liquefying it.
Yes.
How quickly and easily could you produce some of those acids you use?
Fairly, but I'm not sure how well it would taste to you.
Anything tastes good with a little bit of bacon. I would like to take a big chunk of tenderloin and have Sia Cass, could you please produce, like put the chunk of tenderloin in a bowl and have Sia Cass just barf all over it.
Oh, you want me to liquefy this?
I would like this to be liquefied in a fine soup. I would give you something to stir with, but I'm fairly certain you're going to melt it.
Yeah,
So-
I'll get to work on that.
All
I
right.
have to wrap it first, but I can get the webbing off of it afterward.
Oh, leave the wrap.
Yeah,
Please,
that traps the juices in.
Excellent. Then I'd like to go over to Stan. Stan, I have a very special job for you. We need, and with great fanfare and pomp, I just start kicking over all of the kitchen equipment and tables they have set up for us to clear a spot in the floor. I need a hole 3 feet deep right here. And that's directed at you, Stan.
How wide?
About yay big around.
Okay, I'd make the shape. Thinking, all right. Yes, I think I can do that.
Perfect. I'm going to start to heat up a bunch of rocks and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And then I'm going to go over to Nub Nub. Nub Nub, I have a very special purpose for you. I need recon. If it will be quite all right with you, I'd like you to get as small as possible and take a look around and let us know what everybody else is doing. I like mice. Fantastic.
All right, I'm gonna go form of mouse, and I'm gonna do the. That sounds like a good idea.
All right.
Give him a wink, and then.
Make sure you announce yourself when you come back, so we don't think you're a normal mouse. I would hate to eat you by mistake.
Me too.
Nub not for eating, and then I just turn into a mouse.
How about that
Nub, give me a stealth check.
All right, let me look up the mouse.
The mouse. It's probably pretty stealthy.
While he's doing that, I'm going to cast Silent Image and create basically a fake in a 15-foot cube, I think I can do, around us. So for 10 minutes, it just looks like, well, I can do it more than once. But for 10 minutes, it's going to look like, basically, I am not digging a hole. We're just
It's like a loop.
Yeah,
like
a
how
loop
people
of us
do that
just
in heist movies. Like, it's just a loop.
Yeah, it's just a loop of us just sitting around
So
talking.
every 10 minutes, it's just like...
Yeah.
Okay, so
That is
right.
awesome.
I got a 16 on my stealth for this going around.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you are undetected as you scurry about the kitchen, which is actually not very doesn't look very favorably on the other teams, that they would not notice a mouse loose in the kitchen. But yeah, you notice that several of the other teams, they look like they're a little behind in their prep. They maybe are scrambling a little bit. The people making the saffron risotto, they seem like they're a little more ahead. Although the risotto,
I
just
see
when,
things,
wherever
and then,
you are.
and then if I can, I like take a sample.
Sure.
And if it's really good, I take a few more samples.
Okay, yeah, I mean, you're definitely able to scurry around and remain undetected as you try the different things.
Mhm.
The stone crack cacciatore seems like it's pretty good. You're guessing it would have been better with a little local garnishment with it.
Oh, I'm gonna
So
I'm a rat right now. I'm gonna be rat tattooing, like throwing stuff in there, like, oh, this is what they really needed.
when they're not looking. Okay,
No, I'm just kidding. I don't.
you can do that. You didn't, yeah, whatever.
You know what? Actually, yes, I'm going to put some.
Yeah, you think you're helping.
Valuable. Very valuable.
Okay. You notice that the team, though, making the saffron risottos, despite being ahead, there seems to be less team members than there had headed out yesterday. They look a little morose, but they're still plowing ahead with their dish.
Yeah.
But yeah, you get a little sample of everything.
Okay.
For sure.
And I come back with the information.
All right.
And then I transform back and I say, Nub Nub thinks they're all really good.
Oh. Well, Nub Nub, no one could fault you for being honest.
As he savaged us and everything.
So once we have a nice hole, I would like to bury some tenderloins with a bunch of really hot rocks.
Okay.
And the tenderloins are so big, or one of the tenderloins,
they're
is really
huge.
hot. They're so big, I'm not even going to cover them in anything. I'm just going to throw them in the pit, cover them in really hot rocks, and then fill the hole in. So basically what I want to do with the belly is super slow cook the belly, so all the fat turns into, like, liquefies, and we end up with super tasty, essentially it would be like short ribs or something.
Mhm.
Like super tasty supple meat. The goo from my friend Sir Cass, the goo. I would like to mix the goo with eggs and make a really huge Bulette and Sir Cass vomit omelet.
Okay.
It's an
and-
enzyme. It's not vomit.
it's an enzyme, sir. Thank you.
Saliva would be more appropriate.
This is going to be delicious. I'm going to add, just season everything with all the local seasonings. Do you have a couple of those little stone creatures on you still, directed at Stan?
They turned
Yeah,
into creatures.
They didn't all. Some of them
Oh.
did. Some of them did not. Yeah.
Yes, I do have some, and I'm going to give him all except one of each of the type and keep those.
Okay.
Oh,
Here
excellent.
you go.
Then I'd like to use those on the Bulette, like, plates.
Sure.
I'd like to use them as, like, garnish.
Okay.
Like, stick them around the plates. Okay.
Can I
I'm
make a
feeling good.
tabletop?
A table talk, sure.
Yeah. Like just a really loosely knit tablecloth, so I don't have
Oh,
to use
tablecloth. I thought you said table talk. I was like, sure.
No, cloth.
Is there something you're
tablecloth.
concerned about? Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
You can totally do that. Make a weaving check.
Mm.
See how nice it is. Or was that what you were weaving the whole time? Maybe. Oh no, you were making a sweater.
No, I was making a sweater before.
She made a
19.
nub sweater.
18. Oh yeah, it is fantastic.
Yeah, she's going to be long leg, scary face, nice lady.
She is. She bound your wounds. She's like a grandma. She's making tablecloths,
Yes.
crochet.
Exactly.
So you have actually
Good
prepared
shawl.
this several different ways with local stuff, and throughout the night you're feeling very confident. You got back in good time. Just awesome job gathering the ingredients. And when the competition time comes around, the auditorium is filled with people, but the roped off section, there's about 20 people who have VIP seats for the competition. And these will all be given samples of the dishes to judge. Most of the people in the crowd are workaday folk with enough disposable income to indulge their foodie cravings. There's a few finely dressed individuals sitting in this roped off front row. There's a very rural couple who look far removed from what is likely a remote area of Neros 4. And there is a halfling woman in a silver and black trimmed robes, while a handful of event security personnel mill about the crowd. Chunder is there as well, the Illrigger's cook. He's interested in cooking, even though he's not awesome at it. He still likes food. So the competition gets underway. Your dishes are prepared, and you do the final, preparation right there live for the crowd. And they're all given things, and Nerlag is hosting. He's like, we got Ingest Quest. They've prepared Bulle, Mignon, 3 ways. As you can see, they used parts of the beast for the presentation, which is just off the hook. These guys are coming to us from Archaeosphere, and we're happy to have them here. And later this afternoon, the Nero's Gate Pursuit is going to go on, and with the winner, getting to crew the Dawn Rose. Guys, that thing's just bananas out there in the harbor. And, as all these people, there's chatter, and everybody's enjoying all the food, some more than others. But during the course of distributing it, the table with the gnomes' food on it, you see them like out of the corner of your eye. It's like they start shouting and scrambling about, and the large pressure cooker pot that they have set up there blows its lid, and this red kind of like dough-like matter starts like bubbling out of it and all over the table. And to your horror, you can see that there's actually like mouths and teeth like pulsating through the goo and like coming to the surface, and then it's being swallowed back up, and it's just like and like tongues, and just all this disgusting mass is bubbling forth over the table. And
I think that they do not understand how food works.
they absolutely do not.
Fitzroy,
Absolutely
what dish
do
is
not.
that called?
And,
I'm just gonna kind of reach for the first thing with a handle that's pointy. That might not be food.
Yes, and I actually see Nerlag and audience members and your fellow competitors scream in terror as this red dough-like mass grows, expands, and just like rolls forth onto the ground, murmuring and chattering with a cacophony of voices, including both animal sounds and humanoid speech, with nearby onlookers scrambling and falling out of each other to get away.
Nub Nub runs forward, leaps in the air, with the quarters.
The red stick.
Okay, yeah. Can we roll initiative? I'm terrified of this thing.
Yeah, you can roll initiative as the sentient meal projectile squirts globs of itself into the faces of those too close to escape, and those struck with the chemical goo howl in pain, while others, just in sheer horror, appear to be lashing out at anything nearby.
My initiative is not 25. It is actually not that.
13.
Okay.
I wrote the speed where the initiative should go.
Yeah. So what did you have, Nub Nub?
That is a 17.
Okay, and 5-hand stand.
16.
Okay, it's too hot to keep the hood up.
And the
Welcome back.
living meal.
This is a surprise. I thought we were just going to do the contest.
Yeah, I
No.
thought it was gonna
No,
be
that's
perfectly
part of
normal.
it, too.
I thought we were just fighting. We would just come in, and then everything would go fine. We'd win.
This is D&D, man.
Just leave.
This is D&D.
But the gnomes
never
in
that
the
easy.
pressure cooker.
Yeah, so there's actually about a dozen just common folk, 4 guards, several nobles, 2 rural folk, a robed halfling woman, just scrambling, and they actually appear to be like confusedly just thrashing at each other as this thing just is like spitting globules of grossness around at them.
Oh,
And Circas, you are up first, so you can go ahead with whatever you'd like to do.
Be
Okay.
awesome.
So what consistency does this thing have?
Ooze, it's amorphous glob of aberrant goo.
So it's probably not a good idea to try to like grapple it.
Make a Arcana check.
Oh yeah, nice, cool.
22.
No, you're guessing by the fluid nature of the thing that trying to grab onto it would not be. And actually, as you observe too, you see that the ground under it appears like people are trying to run through it, and it's like their boots and shoes are like sticking in it, and it looks like they're having a tough time even moving through the area that it's covering on the ground.
In that case, I'm gonna Witch Bolt.
Okay. Its AC is 9.
I hit.
Okay.
Thank you for being upfront about that.
A nice low armor class. Fantastic.
Oh gosh, no, stay on the rolling surface, don't fall off. Stop that. 8.
8 damage as you electrify the thing.
Yes.
All right. So yeah, it is shocked, and just kind of like, it's kind of like roiling around, and you see like the mouths and eyes kind of look over towards your direction. It's like, and it's like tongues going out and everything. And actually, to one of the common folk, you see it like swallowed up by like a gooey, expansion of the thing, and just kind of screaming like as he's just like pulled into the thing.
Aww.
And then a moment later, you actually see that person's face like stick out of the goo. And next, it is Nub Nub.
All right.
Poor Nub.
Change of plans now that I see he's someone's in trouble. Okay. I run up. Nub Nub will rescue you from evil food, and and if his hand comes up, my character will grab it with both of the paws and like try and rip him out of it.
Yes.
One of the people being swallowed by him. Okay, make a grappling check.
Okay. Doop-a-doop. Pull up to... Okay, so it's going to be a strength check.
Mhm.
All right. That is a 16.
And you're in Nub Nub form, was it?
I am in bear form.
Oh, you're in bear form. Okay, so yeah, the person actually is just even more terrified as the bear comes towards him. But you do.
I reassure him by going, no.
He's like, oh, okay.
I look him like dead in the eye. Like trying that I'm just there to help him.
And that is one of the last things he sees as he kind of slips out of your grasp, and the sticky goo of the living stew kind of drags him out. Even though you do have a strong grip, the surprisingly sticky grip of this thing just continues to pull one of the
howl
counters.
and growl in anger and despair.
So like a no, but in bear.
That's what it sounds like. Fact. That's science.
All right, so 5-hand stand. You see this up, and like I said, you see several of the commoners and even the guards like kind of just madly thrashing at each other, and they seem to be confused. Some are just kind of like wandering around as if they cannot see.
Okay. I'm going to do another silent image, and I'm going to try and do it in between, include the people, so that the whatever thing is, hopefully it actually looks and sees things, but I'm going to make it kind of seem like there's nobody there as far as I can.
Okay.
And then to the other people, I'm going to make it look like it's light on one side of the image so that they kind of like can go towards the light.
So make a persuasion check.
Talking about my
Mm.
strong suit here. Well, I rolled a 15, so that probably means I got a 14. Let me see.
Because
Yes,
you're a bug.
14.
Well,
Everyone go to
despite
safety. It
your,
is don't die. Please go.
lack
this
of
way.
charisma, yeah, several people, they're still, kind of like wild-eyed, and because of that, they just kind of like latch onto any visual thing that prompts it to come about, and it does work. So, not on everybody, but several of the people appear to be, reacting positively to your plan.
And then with my bonus action, I'm thinking it jumped out of the pot because it doesn't like heat. So I'm going to grab one of the coals, like a big chunk of coal from the boulet thing we got going on, with my mage hand, and just have the mage hand zip on over and slam into the creature.
Okay, make a ranged spell attack.
All right. That's 18, so
Oh,
on the
that
die.
hits.
On the
Yeah,
die,
sure. So let's have that do 1d6 fire damage.
So. All right.
Hmm.
4.
All right, so yeah, you pick this hot coal, and as it goes, it kind of like the goo recoils from it, but you can see it's like sizzling and charring the way it around, and actually like kind of retracts a bit from its expansion because of the heat.
So glad that's not a brown mold thing. I was like, I don't know what this thing is.
And it is up to Fitzroy. What would you like to do? Like I said, yeah, we got mad people and this out of control stew. A gibbering mouthful of food, if you will.
If you will. If you will. If I could use such parlance. I'm going to grab like some meat cleavers and throw them at it.
All right,
Just-
yeah, make us.
All right, well, if it's going to be that kind of party, come here, son.
All right.
16?
That hits. It's very easy to hit this roiling mass of food.
What do you want to do for damage?
Hand axe seems
Sure.
cleaverish.
And
It
by-
was like 1d6, 1d8. What is it? I think it's 1d6.
1d6.
And by the way, you can add force damage to that if you use your bonus action.
Yes, that's right, because
For
he's
your
a
Horizon
Horizon Walker.
And
Oh, yeah.
And it turns it all on the force damage, I'm pretty sure.
Yes, I believe it does.
It's like D8 extra.
Yeah, it's like once per turn, basically.
I have it written down. Oh, yeah, it's 1d8. Okay, yeah, cool. We're going to add a d8 to that, and we're going to roll a d6 and a d8. Do I still get to add my strength bonus to that?
Yeah, you're chucking the thing.
My massive +1.
Mm-hmm.
8, 9, 10 points of damage.
All right, so yeah, you chuck a cleaver imbued with planar power at this thing, and it just slams into it again, making the goo kind of like retract from the force of your blow, and it kind of like breaks its hold on some of the commoners who are able to like kind of shake to their senses and get away. And then it is the thing's turn. So, and all the commoners. So, let's see. I need. Oh, wait, that's when you start your turn in it. I need Nub Nub to make a dexterity saving throw as one of the mouths comes to the surface and goes and shoots like a big loogie of disgusting goo at your face.
No.
18?
Mhm.
All right, you actually dodge out of the way, and it goes sailing back towards the crowd, and actually hits one of the guards, like splatters against his helmet, and he's just like, I can't, and he's just blinded by this spittle that has emerged from this thing and cannot see, but it did miss you, so that's good. And
Yay.
and several of the guards and commoners are actually beating on each other as well. You see
Oh, no.
The halfling woman in robes actually like put her hands together like this, and out of fear, and just like stumbling back, and flames emerge in a cone shape and injure several of the commoners as she just like stumbles back in fear in the crowd.
Oh, no.
You actually see Nerlag as well, kind of off to the side, and he's actually just coming back from his office, and he's got like a big maul in his hand, and he will charge forward to try and protect people as well.
Oh, thank God. We need more
And
people on deck right now. More hands
I
on deck.
believe. Oh, it can bite also. So the several of the mouths are also going to bite at Nub Nub.
I dodge it.
I didn't realize it could.
Dodge it. I'm dodging it.
could
I'm
do
blocking
that.
it.
Cartwheels.
That is an 18 to hit.
Yeah, you're hitting.
All right. That does 15 piercing damage as like several of the mouths kind of just like and just like take little chunks out of your bare body.
I do another growl again. Meow.
And then it is Sir Cass's turn, which I believe you still have a witch bolt lighting this thing up.
Yes, I do. 1 damage.
East.
Hey, damage is damage.
Wreck
It
it.
is electrified. All right. Anything else you want to do? You want to try and what are your webs like a bonus action, or is that even is it just like a flavor thing?
So mechanically speaking, my spinneret allows me to produce webbing material, and it gives me advantage on climbing and grapple checks. It doesn't say specifically that I can web as a bonus action. That is up to you.
Oh yeah.
I do, however, get an extra bonus action as long as I use them to do 2 different things, because I also have extra limbs.
That is true. So yeah, if you wanted to like crowd control with your webs, you could also do that as a bonus action.
Yeah, I want to give that a shot. Like some of the more disruptive people, like throw some webbing at them, try to get them less mobile.
Okay. Make a dexterity check just to aim your webs.
17.
Yeah, you are totally able to do that using your webs. You maybe like pull a few people off of each other and things like that, and manage to help the crowd out. And then next it is back up to Nub Nub, where you have to make a wisdom saving throw as the mouths babble incoherently while you are in there.
Oh boy!
So happy about how this is going.
17.
You do. Perhaps it's the bear thoughts going through your mind that are overriding the incoherent babbling that you hear from the thing, and it is. Yes, you're angry because your paws are stuck in this sticky dough-like terrain that you are in around this thing, and it is your turn.
All right, on my turn, I immediately just go head in, biting, claw, almost like if it's kind of a liquidy substance, I'm almost just like digging at it.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you
All
actually stick your head into the mass and just like.
Yeah.
Oh. Nub is the bravest of us.
That's 18 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
For 11 damage. And then I also gonna do the bite attack, a 10 to hit, so I'm not grabbing onto anything with that.
Okay, so those both hit.
Oh, the 10. Okay, so that
Yeah,
is
it's
going
not
to be-
AC is only 9. It's just a massive dough.
Okay, so that's 6 piercing damage with the bite.
All right. Is there a claw also?
Yeah, the claw. Did I do the damage for the claw? Did I give you damage? Okay.
If you did, I didn't notice.
14 damage.
Woo!
On the claw.
Holy cow.
It is messed up Stan. You see Nub Nub just dive into this thing with its claws and teeth. And it is really diminishing. It appears to just be like kind of like bubbling down as it gets weakened by the heat, cold, claws, and electricity and everything.
Yes,
affecting it.
Stan stuck his hands in a lot of places, but he's not sticking them there.
Okay.
So I like that it didn't seem to like fire, so I'm going to go over and kind of sleight of hand juggle a couple of hot coals between Mage Hand and my forearms.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm going to dash over, grab a whole bunch.
So you're like juggling because they're hot?
Yeah, to
It's
try
like,
and not burn
You're
myself.
playing hot potato with them? Okay.
You can determine whether or not my exoskeleton protects me if I just toss them enough.
I'll tell you what, make a sleight of hand check to
Or I think if
juggle
there's a
them
fire-
before they burn their hands.
If there's a fire with coals, they might have those little like shovel things that you can like fling them
That's
over.
true. There's probably like
I like
pots
the
and
idea of Stan juggling hot coals.
Well, I
We're done.
have
This is how it's
expertise in it, and that allowed me to get a 10.
So we'll say you take like 3 points of fire
Okay.
damage as you're juggling them. Yeah, several hot coals and also trying to like throw them at the thing. So
Okay,
if you
yeah,
want to make rain,
One of them goes down your back. You have
Yeah.
to go like,
yeah, down your exoskeleton.
So as I'll move like back towards it and then get in range and
Sure, and you can make is that up to 2 or 3 attacks? I believe 2, 3.
yeah, let's go.
Well, you got the extra arms, so I think it's 3 total, right?
All right. Well, thankfully, this is terrible armor class, right? So I've got
Oh,
a 9, an 11, and an 11.
That's all hit.
All right. That will be for 11 fire damage.
All right. Yeah, and it's shrinking up pretty good. Fitzroy, it is on you.
I liked how that went last time. I think we're going to grab another knife
Okay.
and do some more super-powered planar beast hunting
Absolutely.
energy attacks. I feel kind of like Gambit doing that, to be totally honest.
You're charging them up. I
I
suppose it's
got
kind of like that.
I got a 12.
That hits. It's only got a 9 armor class.
Okay, 12 points of damage.
How would you like to do this?
Oh, I think it should be like melting and dying from like all the rocks and bits flying everywhere from like Nub Nub, like tearing chunks out of it and like clawing like crazy. I'd say my knife stuck in, but that wasn't what killed it. Like everything that they're like pouring into this thing is what killed it.
Yeah, so as you do, it just kind of like fizzles down and deflates to where it's just like last gibbering mouths are just like. You see a few more faces. Oh.
Once it's dead, I look to the audience and I see, is there any more people attacking other people?
No, actually, with the deflation of the creature, they've kind of calmed down. I mean, they're still like, panicked and sweating and just like, oh, what just happened and stuff. And, there's actually people like far out in the audience beyond the VIP area that might have thought that was even part of the show. They actually stand up and they're like.
And what happens is when they
Nobody
do that,
was-
I as a bear, like, go like this on my hind legs and then put the arms there. And I'm like,
Oh yes, they are cheering for you, Nub Nub. Yes.
I'll wave with all my arms.
Yeah, they do, and they calm down. There's, like I said, a few people that got sucked into it are kind of catatonic right now, but nobody died. And Nerlag kind of just awkwardly comes to the stage and be like, well, he's like, I'd say with this just totally off the hook Bule Mignon 4 ways that the Unjust Quest has created for us today, and that just amazing rescue. Well, the gnome team is definitely disqualified, but
yeah, I think when your dish eats
yes.
several of the participants,
There's probably going to be some legal proceedings. It looked like there was actually possibly humanoid sentient ingredients in that dish, which is a big no-no here on Nero's Gate. But he's going to announce you guys as the winner of the Flavortown competition at the 50th annual Nero's Gate Pursuit. And as winners in that, you can have VIP access to watch the Nero's Gate Pursuit later that afternoon.
Yes.
And if any of you people out there watching would like to find out what happens in the Nero's Gate Pursuit, you can watch WebDM's Twitch game Starward Bound with Jonathan Pruitt as the DM on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern on their Twitch and find out who wins the Nero's Gate Pursuit. And with that, I would like to thank my players for joining me on Unjust Quest. And we will be here next Friday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern to play again.
All right. Thank you for running, Doug. It's been
thanks
awesome.
for running. And thanks everyone for coming out to watch us.
Yeah, thank you, everybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
So until next time, stay nerdy.
Stay nerdy.
Hi. Bye.